Now that you've got the aquarium ready, you've got your filtration and your aeration running, you've got your temperature and your pH right, it's time for the fun bit, which is to get the fish. The fish will typically come from the aquarium in a bag like this one. Make sure that there's plenty of air for the amount of water in the bag, because they don't run out of water, but they do run out of air. If you're going to be traveling for more than a couple of hours, it's good to insist that they put some oxygen in with the air in the bag, and that'll give you up to a couple of days. Once you get your fish home, you're going to have to acclimatize them, which is to adjust the temperature in the bag to the temperature in the aquarium. So float the unopened bag in the top of the aquarium for about 15 minutes. If your aquarium is well established and you've got some very dominant fish in the aquarium which act very aggressively towards new introductions, it's a really good idea to totally rearrange your rocks. This will break up all the current territories in the aquarium, confuse and disorientate the fish that are currently in there, and they'll spend more time trying to find themselves a new territory that they want to rule, as opposed to targeting the new fish that have come into the aquarium and focusing on them and venting their aggression on them. This will disperse the aggression amongst all the other fish in the aquarium. Now that the bag's been floating for about 15 minutes, you open the bag up and roll it open. It's really important that you don't just fold the bag over the top of the aquarium. Many people lose fish doing this because the fish will be gasping and stressed at this stage and will be using a lot of oxygen, which won't be able to be replenished within the water because you've choked it off like that. The correct method is to roll the top of the bag open, trying to maximize the amount of surface area in the bag in which the gas can exchange. It's a good idea to test the water in the bag that your fish are coming from. If you're getting your fish from a reputable dealer, the pH should be fairly similar to that of your aquarium, because you should be keeping your aquarium at the same pH that your fish require, so that really shouldn't be a problem. On the other hand, if the fish have been in transport for a long period of time, the pH in the bag can actually fall. So if the pH of the bag is different to the pH of your aquarium, you need to adjust the pH of the bag slowly. So simply get a glass of water, pour it into the bag with the fish, and leave that for a further 5 minutes. Check the pH again. If it is then fairly similar, the fish can then be released into the aquarium. If it is still far off, repeat the process again until you get the pH roughly right. Particularly if you've got a new aquarium that doesn't have any fish in it, it's a good idea to make sure the first ones you put in are cheap and small, because they really are the test guinea pigs. And if anything's going to go wrong, it's likely to go wrong to them. When you put your first set of fish into the aquarium, it's a good idea not to feed your aquarium for 1 or 2 days after the fish have been introduced, because the aquarium doesn't have the adequate amounts of bacteria to break down the waste from the fish. It's a really good idea when you first get your fish to add some of the bacteria products which are available, because the bacteria has to be established in your aquarium to keep the fish alive. So the fish produce the waste, the bacteria breaks down the waste. If you put the fish in first and wait for the bacteria to grow, there is a toxic period while you're waiting for that bacteria to establish. Now, there are some very effective products on the market which will actually give you the bacteria, so you don't have that toxic period while you're waiting for the bacteria to establish, to accommodate the amount of waste produced by your fish. The most common behaviour for new fish when you put them into the aquarium is to group together and generally hide amongst the rocks. As they establish themselves in the aquarium, what they'll be trying to do is secure territories in the aquarium in which they create little homes out of. So don't try and sort of chase them out of the rocks or expect them to come out within the first couple of days or weeks. You will find as you introduce more fish into the aquarium, they become braver and will venture out more and will further associate you with food. So therefore, when they see you, they'll actually run to the front of the aquarium with time.